What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back to Iraq, shall we? Yeah, that's a lovely picture, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, good Lord. Anyways, look, you guys should be thinking about buying gold and silver. Right now is a good time to think about it. There is a lot going on around the world. And in case you haven't heard, there are people uprising everywhere. They are not tolerating what is going on while America sits back and sleeps. Anyways, when you do go buy gold and silver, make sure you check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half-ounce of silver. For those of you who are asking me for my address, there it is. And thanks to everybody that's joining over there to the new platform. The videos that have been going up on there, as you are well aware, there's a lot of good stuff. For those of you who are keeping track, I did post today because people were asking me about it. Yes, I did catch the update on the Maricopa hearing. I suggest you people look at it because they're already letting you know what they found and some of the audit. So there's a lot of discrepancies there. So I would recommend you check it out. Okay. Yeah, and think about this. More counties now are asking, not just there, but in other states. You guys know I got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. It's a Facebook group. Come on over here and join us. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. It's free to join. Come on over. All right, so what's going on over there in Iraq? Well, let's see here. Al-Qademi discussed with Parliament economic support for industrial sector in Iraq. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Rebuild the private sector, use that surplus, create more jobs, get away from relying so much on oil. So, since today we discussed with the Prime Minister, Al-Qademi, a number of issues related to the Iraq political and economic affairs. The most prominent, which is the problems and obstacles that investors suffer from in the country, which is actually really unique and interesting because I'm pretty sure that these globalists on the outside don't have no problem. All right. So anyways, it says the most prominent of which the problems or obstacles and investors suffer from in country, noting that the conversation focused with Al-Qademi on solving the problems facing investors from through developing appropriate solutions and issuing government decisions that would overcome obstacles to work of investors in the country. So yeah, we want to see that happen. We want to see more jobs available. So yes, we love you focusing on the private sector. The meeting with the Prime Minister touched on the importance of private sector and its role in the next stage in increasing job opportunities. Yes, indeedy. Well, this I don't like. NATO to expand presence in Iraq, Security General indicated. So Stoltenberg tweets, alliance will be stepping up support in Iraq. Well, what are they supporting there for? Why are they there? Let's see. NATO Secretary General has indicated that the alliance will expand its presence in Iraq to counter security threats following a meeting with the country's prime minister. Okay. Said a lengthy meeting was at the Brussels headquarters in which the Iraq leader that he could rely on alliances, later tweeting that stepping up our support. Okay. Okay. Looks good. NATO has already committed to an 8-fold increase of its troop numbers to 4,000. And it is understood that they could be expanded to counter the ISIS threat. Well, here's the problem with the UN. Over there in, Syria and Yemen, the UN was helping ISIS. So why would you trust them in there helping you? So that was a secret that was hidden here in the United States. A reporter exposed this truth, which caused all kinds of hell. And that is these people were raping the local women and stealing, as well as helping ISIS. They weren't there to fight them. So I haven't heard that anything's changed. I wouldn't count on the UN to do anything over there when it comes to ISIS. It says Iraq can count on the support of NATO and its countries for your government's use. Okay, so expanded cooperation between Iraq and alliances, but that the role of the foreign troops would be non-combative missions, purely training and advisory in nature. Iraq forces would still be required to provide security and take the fight to ISIS. Good. But I just, after everything I read and when they were exposed, nothing about the NATO that I like. So this is the next round of strategic dialogue at the table of al-Habasi, and the American delegation. So this is Kurdistan. So let's see here, and I'm guessing he's met with Matthew Tiller. The meeting discussed the next round of strategic dialogues between the United States and Iraq to expand the horizons of cooperations in the fields of course, all the same ones: economic, culture, commercial, agriculture, education, training, all the good stuff, and the continuation of cooperations and coordinations in the field of security, combating terrorism. Al-Qademi advisor: the boycott and withdrawal will not affect the date of the election. Yeah, so this is really interesting. So Sadr, the leader of the Sadr movement, he is withdrawn from the election that's coming up. He says that they're boycotting it, along with other members of his election bloc. So I don't know exactly. I mean, other than the mobile group, the crowd, when they got bombed, I can understand why they're pissed. But so Sadr is dropping out. He's is not going to run for office, and he's also made sure that his followers in Parliament do the same. They'll finish out this term, but they're not going to run either. So Iraq's saying it's really sad to hear that, but that doesn't affect the elections. They're going on regardless. Of course, when Al-Qademi gets here with the United States, you're going to talk about all the same stuff that they do with every other country when they're there. Although this time around, I think there is some issues that need to be addressed. If I was Al-Qademi, I'd definitely bring up the fact that these guys bombed the Popular Mobilization Group, and I'd want to know why they did that when they told everybody it was Hezbollah. The U.S. State Department talks about important changes or challenges that the strategic dialogue with Iraq is going to address. So most all of it is the same. It says we are very active in efforts to restore stability to the communities in Iraq that were destroyed by ISIS. Good. We want that. He explained that the United States is the largest donor to Iraq's development through the United Nations development programs, and we have rehabilitated more than 130 schools, 57 primary health care centers, 6 clinics, 62 water treatments, 17 substations for electricity, and 3 hospitals and a partridge in the pear tree. All right, so good. We know that, but just my concern is we have the habit of waving money around in other countries' faces as long as they do what we want. So it doesn't seem like we're really there for all the right reasons when you do it that way. But it says the mechanisms for the withdrawal of the combat forces from Iraq and the transition to a new phase of strategic cooperation that develops the relationships between the two countries and enhances Iraq's security and sovereignty were also discussed, in addition to expanding the cooperations in the fields, of course, the same ones we talked about. So go on over there, Al-Qademi, but I sure wish Al-Qademi would throw his name in the ring to run. He has not done that. So again, just get into the details. Sadr movement, Sadr himself, withdrawal from the elections and withdraws his hand from Al-Qademi's government. So, the hand of protection is no longer there. It says, I will not participate in this election, and I announce that I will withdraw my hand from everyone who claims to belong to us in the current and future government. We wish the election's success and the arrival of all the righteous. But then he goes on to say, what is happening in Iraq, an international scheme to humiliate the demonic people and burned. be aware that the fate of Iraq, like Syria and Afghanistan, that's actually pretty messed up. So again, right now they're refocusing on doing what it takes to go ahead and restabilize over there in Iraq. I told you we don't want that kind of mess to happen. So they're doing what they can to bring stability back there. This is good because even the president's involved, and there's a lot of big swingers in there, all of them making the same promises of coming around and restabilizing Iraq. There was one other article I wanted to see. Oh yeah, this is interesting. Washington allows Iran to use frozen funds to pay off its debt with South Korea and Japan. Is it really? Is it really going to pay off its debt? Or are they just going to use that money and this is an excuse? So, of course, Trump put the screws down on these people, froze up a lot of their money, as well as sanctioned the bejeebus out of them. And Biden's coming along, freeing up the money, allowing them to do what they need to do. They are in the midst of a nuclear talk. So we'll see where it goes. So that's it for now. Look, them guys want to get rid of ISIS. Those guys go and do what they can to stabilize the country. That's all good news. Sauter dropping out, I'm a little concerned about that. Not that I want him to win, but, you know, it seems like he's distancing himself from the government. And I'm trying to wonder why that might be. But nonetheless, he is moving out of politics for now. So you guys, that's it. Not a whole lot going on. Nothing really overly exciting for the moment, but at least it's all about stabilizing the country and do what you can to be more connected to the international trade scene. And we'll see where it goes from there. So that's it. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps up the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.